All right, I just wanted to take the time out to thank our new sponsors, We Hate Clubs. We Hate Clubs is a brand which was developed with the idea that people should live outside of their comfortable spaces, leaning in the music, art, photography, parties, and fashion. We Hate Clubs is built to function as something greater than oneself. Make sure to follow We Hate Clubs on Instagram if you're in the Chicagoland area. Now back to the show. All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Defying Podcast. Today, we have the most badass person, if not one of the most badass persons to ever step foot in the studio for her first podcast here, making her Defying Podcast debut, Lisa. Golden Girl, Golden. How are you, Lisa?
Miles.
Hello. How are you doing?
Well, how are you?
I'm good. Another day in Florida. You know. Let's go.
Another
Let's
day
go.
in paradise.
Another day in paradise. That's what they say. So Lisa, if you guys don't know, I say she's the most badass person because Lisa, all right, how do I go about this? Like, it's crazy. I don't think I know anyone that does this. You're the only person. She's a police officer, an MMA fighter, and a mother. 2 out of the 3 of those things are probably one of the most important things for a functioning society and probably one of the most stressful jobs you could ever do, and you do both.
I try.
And also an MMA fighter, a badass MMA fighter. So that's crazy. So Lisa, how are you doing today? And if you could explain to me how you seemingly juggle all these jobs in one day. Like, how is your day going?
This is my day off.
Okay.
So I'm very relaxed right now.
Okay.
I couldn't do all of that. Which
you can speak a little bit closer. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Just you can move it just like about a fist away. Yeah.
All right, this is high tech.
No. This is basic.
So you know my husband Wesley.
Yes.
Couldn't do
Amazing
it without
guy.
him.
Yeah.
He is an Army vet, and he is now a stay-at-home dad.
Okay.
So we don't have to deal with childcare.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you remember Wesley, but he is the most laid
Of
back
course, he's the
person
nicest
in the
person.
world.
He's the
Very
nicest,
nice.
most charismatic person I think I've ever met in the gym for sure.
Yes.
Like,
he's super chill,
yeah.
super laid back, never seems to have any sort of breakdown,
Yeah.
being surrounded by a toddler and a baby all day.
Yeah.
But he's killing the dad game.
Okay.
So
Okay.
when I'm at work, I have total peace of mind.
Mm-hmm.
I can do my job.
Yes.
I don't have to worry about who's picking up and when.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I don't know how he does it, because when I'm on my days off and then I'll take over so he can go train or something, 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't.
Is it harder for you
need you.
to
Going to work is a break.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I have
Interesting.
just myself to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I'm home, I have 2 other humans to worry about. And my son, who is
Yes.
almost 3,
Oh wow.
is a terror.
Ooh, he's so cute.
He's
oh
Wesley
my God.
2.0.
He's the cutest baby I've
He
ever
is.
seen in my life.
Yeah, he is. He
Oh
knows
my
it.
God.
He
Oh
knows
my
it, too.
God. He's like punching all those videos, and when he's coming to the gym, he'd like hang on the cage. I'm like, yo. This
Well,
kid.
now he's gotten into wrestling.
Really?
So you would be proud of him.
Oh my God.
We have wrestling mats set up in the living room,
Oh,
and all he wants
no.
is for me to hip toss him. He's just a little
Oh.
actor.
Oh my God. You think that's his calling? You think he'll get into it because of his parents?
We don't want to push him into anything.
Mm-hmm.
He's obsessed with dinosaurs right now. And,
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we brought him to the gym. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah,
when
of
he
course. I
was a wee
remember.
thing.
Yeah, he was always crawling around,
Yeah.
like playing, and it's like, oh
Yeah.
my God, so
So
cute.
when we watch the UFC fights at home, he'll be like, MMA.
Oh, he knows. He's like aware of it. Okay.
He knows.
Okay.
Actually, I think my daughter is going to be the one to follow in our footsteps.
Okay.
Because she will be glued to the screen
Really?
whenever we're watching
She's
it.
watching it. She's like
Yes.
intensely intrigued with the.
She's absorbing.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Babies are like so.
You got to be so careful.
It's crazy.
What you say around them.
Really?
Yeah.
They understand you.
They'll
Think.
file it away for later. But our decision to have this lifestyle it's not for everybody, but
Yeah, it's definitely unorthodox. Yeah.
yes, it is. It's kind of a reversal of roles. But Wesley did his time in the Army, paid his dues.
Yeah.
So now I'm not saying that what he's doing is a break by any means.
It's a lot of work. I don't think people
Yeah.
realize that. It's a tough raising. I don't have any kids, but I know just from like my sister, and I have a large family. I just know what it takes to raise a child. It's a lot of work. It's honestly a job. Like, people don't realize that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like
They say it's a full-time job.
it's a
They
full.
are absolutely
It's crazy.
right.
You know, it's another human being that you have to raise from birth. You know, to feed
You get
them
one
like,
chance
one
to do it
chance
right.
to do it right. If not, they'll end up being fucked up. You know, murdering people in the streets. And no, you don't want that.
It's all your fault.
No, no, right? They blame you. So, but no, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Well, we chose that lifestyle. We thought about it carefully, and we knew that we could make it work. So by doing this, now we only have one work schedule to worry about. And I was advancing in my career. So that's why we made the decision for him to be the one to raise the kids.
Okay.
And it's been amazing.
That's
It's been
awesome.
so fun.
That's
You know,
awesome,
I
yeah.
never, ever want to discourage anyone from having children because it's life-changing, obviously, but it's just everything. Every day is like Christmas morning.
Really?
I can't wait till they wake up so I can
It's a
play
blessing.
with my kids.
Oh
yeah.
man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I want kids one day, so that's
Do
something
it.
to look forward to, huh?
Highly recommend
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And don't wait till you have enough money to have kids. You never will.
That's what they say. Well, actually, that's what I've been telling myself. It's like, once I get to a certain financial threshold where I think, okay, I'm able to take care of another person, and also I just want to like do everything that I want to do in life without a kid, and then when I have a kid, just settle down.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take your advice. Because it's not a money thing. It's like, once you have the child, you'll figure it out, sort of deal.
The
you
money
think?
will just manifest.
Okay.
Somehow it does.
Okay.
You make a way. You'll do without. You won't go out as much. That's okay.
Yeah.
You've got more fun things to do with your kids
Okay.
instead.
It's more important as well, huh?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
kid's life is more important than your alcoholism, huh?
You actually, you kind of stop wanting to do that. I would say, because I mean, for one thing, you're more tired. So staying at home and ordering in Wingstop just sounds like a blast compared to going down to Wynwood.
Okay. I believe you.
Put
I
some
believe you.
time into it.
Because I don't really like going out anyway, so I'm
There
a
you go.
homebody, so I just chill at home most of
Your
the time.
dad
so.
material, Miles.
Yeah, I hope.
Ladies?
Not yet, ladies. Give me a few more years. Let me ring it out first. Okay, I'm kind of getting off track here, but I wanted to wheel it back into the police aspect of your life and the MMA aspect of your life, and then the mother aspect of your life. What would you find? Where do you think is the most difficult part? As far as your energy that's required. Motherhood?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think because you are just so focused on getting it right that mentally it can be exhausting if you just happen to have a day where nobody's jiving in the house and you just think, did I do it right? Of course, your kids could shed one tear and it rips your soul out. Yeah. I suppose, like, when you go to work, there's stuff that you deal with there, but, they tell you, leave it at the doorstep. Do not bring it home. I will vent to Wesley about some things, but my problems at work, I will not let them darken the doorway of my home. Because then it's time to quit when that happens if you're a cop. So motherhood, I would say, probably
Motherhood's
is the
the
most
hardest.
energy
Yeah.
taxing thing.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's so worth it. And
It's a
that's
magical
why,
experience, huh? Yeah.
magical. Well said.
Okay.
So MMA keeps me in shape, helps me stay fit so I can chase them around. So I need it all.
Okay. Do you feel like the adrenaline from MMA gives you like the confidence in the police force?
100%.
Yeah.
I could not preach about that enough. I think that every cop needs to be at least blue belt level of skill.
Okay.
To do the job properly and to do it safely. I think
Okay.
we owe that to the public. It's not just about us being safe and being able to protect ourselves. We owe it to the public, because when you're going hands-on, now that person is your responsibility. So if you're doing something wrong, you failed them, regardless of whether they're being arrested or not. That's how I feel about it.
That's true. That's true. And I think, yeah, in today's world, police officers get a lot of bad rep, and it actually bothers me so much, because police are, you guys keep us safe. I said this in the beginning, it's one of the most difficult jobs, because you have to police, obviously, because that's the name of the job, but in a way you have to police a society. You have to keep law and order. You have to make sure things are operating in the right way. And if there's someone that's a danger to society, you have to prevent them from causing more harm that they're already doing to the world. So, but nowadays, with all this, media stuff going on, the police officers get such a bad rep. And there are bad ones, of course, that they exist, but the bad ones outshine the hundreds of good ones like yourselves that every day are risking their lives, protecting and serving us, the people.
Well, what gets the most views?
Yes,
Scandal.
Negativity and all this, and it's crazy. And I just wanted to know, how do you feel about that when people, well, I don't think it's in Florida necessarily. I think that we're very tolerant, not tolerant, but like very accepting of our culture here with guns and having people that protect us. And I don't think more in like Chicago and like the kind of bluer states, not to get political, but I think those kind of places kind of play a part with being like defund the police, dumb shit like that, and it's like, I don't understand where this is coming from, but how do you feel about people that have that mindset towards your field of work?
Well, you've seen both sides of the coin. You're from Chicago, right? So if somebody has only one interaction with police in their lifetime and it's negative, that could jade somebody for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
And there are bad apples. I would say, if you know that you're on camera 24/7, because my department wears body-worn cameras.
Okay.
If you're in the middle of a scuffle or something, everyone turns on the cell phones.
Yeah, every time.
If you are wholeheartedly confident you're doing what's right, it shouldn't bother you that you're being recorded constantly. It should never be an issue. You'll never have anything to cover up. And if you're confident in what you're doing and that it's lawful, and you're doing everything as safely as possible, then you can articulate that in court all day long. And I can't fix someone's negative experience with a police officer. All I can do is just make sure that what I do shows who I am as a police officer. I take my job seriously. I don't have a personal agenda, and it's nothing personal against them either. I think, with the negativity that's going on, with the culture, with police versus the public,
it's crazy. I don't get it.
It's always going to be adversarial, because we're always there to stop the fun.
Yeah.
You
break up the parties and everything like
we're
that.
We're the party poopers.
Yeah, the party poop. But you need that.
Yeah.
Or else what happens? You're going to get drunk and throw up everywhere, and then now you can't get to work because some guy's laying in the middle of the street and he's drunk. That's a crazy analogy. But you get the point if you're listening. You know what I mean? It's without police, who's going to stop the criminals? Who's going to stop the dumb shit that's going on in the world, in your cities? And then I guarantee you, all these people that are calling for defunding the police are the first people that are going to call the police when someone breaks in their house, or someone's trying to steal their car, or someone's trying to do something to them that's illegal. You know what I mean? They're the first people, because they probably don't have a gun. Because
if we fund the police,
yes,
then maybe we can start accelerating the program of sponsoring police officers into jiu-jitsu training.
Yes.
So that they can get that training they need, because it benefits everybody.
That's true. Did you start jiu-jitsu before being a police officer or after?
So, let's journey back. Let's go back. Okay. Let's go back to Canada.
Okay.
2003. 2003.
2003. I was, I don't know, 7.
I was
6.
So I walked into a karate dojo.
Ooh.
Because my dad took karate. So I was like, oh, I want to take karate. I want to be like Ralph Macchio, you know? And I had this gift certificate for a free trial of karate. And that same school I went to, that instructor that I met, I stuck with him all the way up to black belt.
Oh, wow.
Got my black belt in karate, and then I left Canada for the U.S. when I was 18.
Okay.
Took a long hiatus from martial arts, period.
Okay.
Didn't start it back up again until 2017.
Okay.
So by then, I had finished grad school. I was in grad school, so I wouldn't get deported. I had to keep renewing my student visa.
Smart.
So by 2017, I was a citizen.
Okay.
And then I found this little gym up in Northwest Florida, and it was predominantly jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
But they also had like an MMA program as well. So I started back up into that.
Okay.
So from 2011 to 2017, I had nothing. So it was just me at my house, doing my katas, trying to remember.
On the little stick thing?
What did I learn?
Okay.
And then transitioned to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. There was a little bit of Japanese Jiu-Jitsu I learned at my karate dojo. I never got ranked in it, though.
Okay, just for fun sort of deal. Yeah.
So from the beginning, I was a martial artist before I was a fighter.
Okay.
So.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something that I always like to consider myself as martial artist.
Martial artist.
Because you have to retire from fighting eventually. You can be a martial artist for life.
That's true.
So that's how I like to consider myself. It helps me just kind of honor the training a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what got me into it. And I am a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Let's go.
Under Helio Seneca.
Hey.
But I've been a blue belt for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm a career blue belt because I'm always working when they do the
ceremony. When you miss, I wish they would. I think I don't like the ceremony. I mean, I do. I think I understand the purpose. It's more of like the hooray thing because they want people to come to the gym and then the whole ceremony and
Mom and Dad.
Yeah, they do the whole thing to make it look pretty. But I'm more of a component. Just give them the belt when you feel like they're ready.
Yeah.
Randomly in class. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like make sure they roll with somebody and they tap someone out. Like, all right, boom.
Surprise.
Or if they win a fight with a submission that you taught them in class and they've been doing it, or they win a tournament, something like this. Make it more spontaneous because then it's less expected and you get more of a real reaction. Because every time I've been to a promotion ceremony, I don't get promoted. I get really mad. So I've been a blue belt. I was a white belt for like 8 years. I've been a blue belt for like
just switched to
2 years now. Yeah, I know, right? Switch to the gi. I missed the first at American Combat Gym. I missed the first promotion, and then a year and a half later they promoted me, but they just gave me my stripes with the second one. So it was like double promotion.
Well,
so.
you outrank me, Miles.
I'm a 3-striped blue belt, but I still feel like I'm a white belt, to be honest. So.
Well, that's how Wesley, my husband, got his blue belt in an MMA fight. He knocked out a black belt.
Oh shit!
So our coach, we shared the same coach up in Northwest Florida. Promoted him.
Damn.
After that.
After he knocked it.
It's well earned.
He went to brown belt and then he got the blue belt after that. Yeah. That's how you do it. And then so when did you start being a police officer? Did you go to police academy or did you study
I did study criminal justice in college.
Okay.
But before that, when I was in Canada.
Okay.
This was 15 years ago.
Okay.
I got hired by the police department in Canada in the Marine unit.
Oh.
It's an unsworn position, and it's seasonal because the water freezes over.
Yeah, right.
But that was my first taste, and it was a program for civilians who want to pursue a career in law enforcement to help them get exposed to it.
Okay.
So that was when I first started in law enforcement, 2008. I think.
Okay. Does that transfer to America? No.
No.
Different requirements, different.
Everything is different.
Everything's different.
Even state by state.
Okay.
If you went to the police academy in New York, you would have to do, they call it equivalency of training in another state.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. So
it's like a whole thing. Okay.
Yeah, but Florida's the only state I've ever lived in.
Okay.
I went straight from Canada.
That's
to
awesome.
The beach.
Yeah, I would too. Because oh my God, they usually go to like New York or like Montana or
they all
Washington.
migrate
It's
down
like,
here eventually.
Yeah, they find their way to Canada. I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually, everyone.
No one moves to Canada.
Yeah.
From Florida.
No one goes. It's the opposite. Oh
Yeah.
no. Yeah, that'd be crazy. Where in Canada did you go to school, or where'd you grow up?
I tell everybody Toronto.
Okay.
Because my town's not on the map.
Really? How's like? It's literally.
It's
so small.
Way up there.
Really?
I if you were ever to look up Blue Mountain, it's in that area.
Oh, okay.
It's beautiful. It's ski country. Apple orchards, mountains. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I would not move back.
Yeah.
Because
Canada is not the.
It's not for
Not
me.
the best
No,
right now.
it's hard to get ahead. You know, not to be political. Like
Yeah,
you said,
yeah,
but
no,
capitalism is almost dead.
Yeah. I have a lot of family in Canada, and I spent a lot of time in
Did
Canada.
ya?
Yeah, I used to go to
What?
Canada a lot when I was a kid. Yeah, I have family in Toronto. What's right outside of Toronto?
Mississauga,
No.
Vaughan, Brampton.
Brampton.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
Brampton.
no
I have cousins in Brampton. I have cousins in Toronto, and I have like distant family in Quebec. I've never been to Quebec, but all my cousins speak French fluently, and they.
Do you?
No, I never did. I studied French in high school for like a semester, and that's about it. I've been to France though, and I spoke a little French there.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's like a little. I can't speak it.
You got the hands down.
I got the but I used to go to Canada a lot, so I've.
Miles, I didn't know that
Yes,
about you.
yeah. I've been to Canada so much because I grew up in Chicago, so we would drive all the time. Like every
Yeah.
summer or spring break, I would go to Canada a lot. I've been all over the world, honestly. A lot. I have family
Look at that.
everywhere in England, Africa, all over Europe, Canada for sure.
Were you born in the U.S.?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
born in the U.S. Yeah, for sure.
I'm interviewing you now.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. I was born here, but I've seen the world. Thankfully because I just have a massive family, so I'm blessed enough to like have people in a lot of places that I'm able to just go visit. And I don't have to pay like room and board, for all these places that I go. So I'm very fortunate that my grandfather was like, both my grandfathers were, getting after it.
That's so good.
That's the beauty of family, which is like kind of comes
Don't
full
stay in
circle.
a hostel.
No, I've stayed in hostels before. They're
Same.
terrible. They're terrible.
awful.
They're horrible. I stayed in a hostel in Amsterdam once, and I found out I have family in Amsterdam. So I'm like, why did I stay in a hostel? But it was terrible because you're in a room with random people. They could steal your shit. You have to share this disgusting bathroom with all these people. Yeah, it's really cheap, but I guess that's the whole point of it. But I was not for me. It's not for me.
It's like
Nah.
summer camp at 30
Yeah.
with serial killers.
Yeah, literally. You could be in a room full of people because you have to leave your stuff, and when you leave, they could just take your shit.
Yeah,
And
there's no lockers.
you're not going to know who took it. There's no cameras in the room.
Don't fall asleep.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I stayed in hostels probably twice, and I did not enjoy it ever.
No.
Never.
I was so broke, though.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
€3 a
yeah.
night? Okay.
When you're broke as shit and you just, like $30, like even $30 kind of bad, a lot of money, but like they're dirt cheap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
You get what you pay for.
you get what you pay for. But thankfully, when I go to Canada, no, I always have a place to stay. I have family, Brampton and Toronto. So like I've been all over there. So
Cool.
but not as an adult, it's like drinking age. I have not been to Canada since I was 16 or 17.
Oh, you're almost there.
Almost
It's
there.
19.
What's the drinking age? 19?
19.
19? Okay, yeah. So
Unless they changed it. It's been a while.
yeah, I don't know. I haven't been there since I was a teenager. So, but I don't know.
not to get political, I feel like it sucks now. All my cousins are like, yo, we gotta get the fuck out of here. They're all trying to leave. It's so, even my cousin, he works for the government, but he's like, yo, this is fucked.
I can't talk. That's why I left.
Yeah.
Couldn't be happier.
But I do think there are some things in Canada that are really good. Obviously, we can go into that whole healthcare thing, but I think I'm not saying healthcare should be free, because there's a lot that goes into it, but I think a system to where you have access to good healthcare is something that Canada is really good about. But just like here, it takes fucking forever, and you're going to be waiting for a very long time so you set an appointment in January, you're probably not going to see the doctor till April, May. That's like the issue, but it is free and it's top notch. So
yeah, I will say that.
Yeah.
You could get a free heart if you needed one.
Yeah.
But you will have to wait 150 years.
Yeah, if you're still alive by the time. Yeah, that's the give and take. It's like, yes, it's free, but it's the timing of it is so. I think paying for it is the alternative, but then it's so expensive that you can't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
So where are you at? We're in the middle somewhere where it's like, all right, there has to be some sort of wiggle room, and then obviously you put politicians in place where there's corruption, and it's like, it's a mess. It's a mess.
Culturally,
yeah.
I miss it so much.
Really, I've noticed. So the Canadian people, like yourself, you're so nice. You guys are, and I know that's like the worst thing to be known for, but at the same time, Canadians are my cousins. They're all really nice. And I'm a nice person because I'm from Chicago, the Midwest. We're also known for being really nice.
Wesley's from Illinois.
Is he? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So like we're all known for being very nice, and here in the South, people are known for being hospitable. That's a word, right?
Hospitable.
Hospitable. They're known for that, but it's not necessarily being nice. Like they'll help you out, but they don't have to be nice about it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Over in the Midwest, are nice. Canadians, I think you guys just have like a heart of gold. Like you guys are like golden retrievers, you know what I mean? That's funny that your last name's Golden, but it's like that. Like you guys are so pure, and I mean, you guys kind of like wear your heart on your sleeves. Like you'll go out of your way to help somebody. You guys are very nice, very open, always smiley, you know. But at the same time, you're like, go fuck yourself. Like you'll say that. So it's like,
sorry.
Yeah, sorry. In Toronto, oh my God, it's my cousin. You remind me of them because the accent and everything. So it's like it's
Do I
nice.
still have it?
A little bit. You can hear it with a few words. It's not that bad though. I like it though. I like it. You kind
I
of
don't think it's going away.
It sounds like kind of like I think you're blending into like the New England because Lucas and Charles, they kind of have a
I
they
hear
sound
it from them.
Yeah, it's they that have that weird like a boat like they sound like that. Yeah, like
Well, my family name is Jameson.
Oh.
My family came from Ireland.
Really?
From Belfast.
And they migrated in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And half my family is French.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad's second language is English.
Mm.
He learned English in high school watching American TV.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did they grow up in Quebec? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then that's where you grew up as well, or you moved when you were younger?
Nope. I grew up in Ontario because my dad married an English woman, which was the cardinal sin. But he had brought her to Montreal. They lived there for a wee bit, and then came back to Ontario. And so, yeah, now I have Irish, French, Canadian, and whatever else.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful. That's a nice combination.
And Wesley is Cherokee. So now our kids have a very rich
Really?
blend.
Interesting. Is he like attached to the culture? Like, does he have
So when you get to know him, you can understand why. But he's not like a historian where he's delved into his heritage and researched.
It's
this,
a lot,
that, and the
yeah.
other. Yeah. But it's just
he just knows that he is. Okay.
Yeah, he has mannerisms and his thought process. It's very spiritual.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome though.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good thing.
I think that's why he's so laid back.
Yeah, it's like the chill vibes, like, you know.
Yeah.
Why are we yelling?
Yeah, it's
like,
all good.
We're alive. That's it. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting super off track here. This is just a great conversation. I know, right? I love this. It's like just good wholesome conversation with good friends. It's amazing. Where were we at though? So you've graduated college. Well, you finished your police academy in Canada, right? Or you just did the community service? I'm sorry.
Marine unit was
Marine
in Canada.
Unit. Okay, but it's a civilian sector of the police force?
So
okay.
I just drove the boat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't carry a gun because I wasn't sworn. So when that was over, then it was I got to go south. I got to go to the beach. So then I did criminal justice for bachelor's and master's.
Okay.
Got my green card, got my citizenship. And by then I was working as an intel analyst for the state of Florida.
Okay.
So that was non-sworn as well. I'm about to burp.
Me too. It's all right.
Catchy. And then they had a position open up for what they call special agent. And they sponsored me to go to the police academy here in Florida.
Okay.
So I did that. And I was with them for a bit in child exploitation unit. And I'll tell you, I won't get graphic about it, but that really damaged me.
Really? It's a
Yes.
lot to see, huh?
It's a lot. And, you know, whenever you have to do your search warrants, things like that, you have to articulate why they should be charged with this, that, and the other. And these, I don't call them people, these subjects.
Yeah. Terrible things. Yeah.
And they have a stash. We're talking tens of thousands. So that'll take a toll on you after a very short period of time. So I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I can imagine it's like
I had to throw the towel in.
Yeah.
And I said I need to move to another unit. You know, I have expired. I'm not useful anymore in this unit and I'm losing my mind. So that was very hard to deal with on the back end because I felt like I failed. Because someone has to do this. Someone has to put these people away, right? But I just had my own mental health to think about.
Of course.
So I finished up my time with the state doing fraud. And then I put my packet in for my department down here. Because Wesley used to train at American Top Team.
Okay.
And he would come back and forth between Coconut Creek and Northwest Florida,
Oh,
which
wow.
is how I met him. I was stationed up in Northwest Florida.
Okay.
And
It's a long drive.
It's a long drive, yeah.
Wow.
And he had a Hayabusa. Like, he would just go ripping up 75
Oh, wow.
on that thing. Oh, yeah.
Didn't pull him over.
I don't even want to think about
Oh,
about
my
what he used to
gosh.
do.
Wow.
Yeah, go figure. He married a cop.
He's like,
So-
can you get me out of this ticket?
Yeah. So he took me away from there, took me down here.
Okay.
And now I've just been, well, not still. Obviously, you start as regular beat cop. And you know what? If there was someone in this room who said, hey, I want to be a cop, I would ask them, well, why? And if they ever said, because I want to help people, I would say, well, go ahead and find another reason why you want to be a cop. Because wanting to help people, it sets yourself up for getting let down, and that does fade over time.
Okay.
10 years from now, you're really going to need another reason to stay in the industry. So I learned that, and that's a Lisa-ism.
No, I mean
But-
it's true. It's you've lived that experience, so
Yeah.
I mean no one knows it better than you. So
And I love talking to people,
Yes.
which is great. But I needed something else. And I found out that I just love to problem solve, which ties everything in, jujitsu,
Yes,
karate,
of course.
all of that fighting. I got attached to our DUI traffic homicide unit. So traffic homicide investigations, which THI, we will go to, which it's basically how it sounds, homicide by car.
Okay.
We will go there, we will reconstruct the accident with whatever is there. And when they send you to school for that, what you don't realize is that it's 98% mathematics. Which I'm a lefty, I'm right-brained,
Yeah.
so that was terrifying.
Okay.
But I found out that I really like it, and I'm really good at it.
Like actual like calculus, like what sort of
We're talking like
quantum physics?
yes, physics.
Oh wow.
So I'll paint you a little picture. Let's say you go to an accident and you see two cars, everybody is dead. Sorry to be morbid.
No.
Everybody is dead. All
Okay.
you have is two cars. One is over in the canal, one is on the grass. So you know they didn't start there. So now you have the highway which is a certain surface level,
Mm-hmm.
certain type of friction. You have to measure the friction there.
Oh, wow.
You'll have grass, different surface level, different friction. You have a car that's down in the canal, so at one point it was on a slope.
Oh, wow.
Yes, now you have crush damage on both cars. Maybe one car rotated in the process. Now you have the passengers, how much they weighed, the true weight of the vehicle as well, skid marks on the road. We can take all of these little pieces and we can figure out how fast that car was going. We can figure out who was at fault.
Ooh.
And that, aside from the fun of doing the math to figure all that out, it brings closure at least to the families of the victims, to at least, because they want to know what happened. You know, when we have to go and do a death notification in the middle of the night,
right,
and say, hey, your son died in a car accident, they always want to know how, like what happened.
What happened?
So if there's ever, you know, a dispute over what happened, if the other family believes that the other people are at fault, at least now we can use
proof.
What's the word? Like
Mathematics.
it's ones
I don't
and
know.
zeros.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's binary. It's black and white.
Okay. It's like clear cut.
Yeah.
Clear cut. Wow, I actually didn't know this.
Yeah.
I didn't know. And there's a lot of accidents down here. Like
Nobody knows how to drive in
like
Florida.
it's actually mind blowing to me because I see an accident. I'm almost desensitized to it. Like really bad ones. I see them every single day.
You're just like, oh, how long is it
I'm
going to
just
take
like,
me
fuck.
to get home now?
I'm an asshole. I'm like, motherfuckers. I like trying to go. And there's,
Learn how to drive.
yeah, like there's literally cars upside down all the time, and like they're just like all fucked up, and people just drive by them, and I hate people just like on their phones recording it. That's a little excessive. I'm like, you don't have to film
Then
them.
they'll
but
post it on Instagram with the praise.
yeah, like
I hope they're
drive
okay.
safe, yo. I'm like, oh my god. I've probably
Stop.
done that a couple times though, but still, it's like fuck. I don't understand people. Like I'm driving and I do speed like a normal person. Like
Don't we all?
we all speed, but there's a threshold. Like some people are really just like going, and it's like this is a 45. Like you don't need to be going 80. Like people do that here. I don't know what it is in Florida. Florida and Arizona are the two states that I've noticed just have. Arizona just is, I think, stupid drivers. Like they just don't know how to drive. I don't know. And in Florida is just reckless driving. Florida's reckless. Arizona, they're just dumb. They I don't even. They just really cannot figure out that there's like a stop sign, a red light, and green means go. Like there's just that aspect of it. When
Yellow
I live
means
there,
speed up.
yeah, it's like crazy. But Florida, I've just seen the most impatient and reckless drivers here. People just like very, I don't know.
They're
Crazy.
tired of being stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
See an open stretch. They take their chance.
Yeah, they'll happily hop in front of someone, even if it's like risking their own and their safety and the safety of the person that's behind them. They don't care. They'll just, as long as they can make it through this yellow light. Ooh, and then
Notice that we've got superheroes in Florida who will risk their lives to get home 3.5 minutes earlier.
Exactly, and you end up it's not even saving you that much time. Like you're just driving recklessly for no reason, and then people oftentimes, and I'm obviously guilty of this too, texting while driving and not paying attention on the road while they're going at super high speeds. That's I think a big issue as well, and obviously drinking and driving is the biggest thing. Especially
I think people are just numb to that whole speech about not drinking and driving.
Yeah,
because I haven't seen a decline in it whatsoever. You know, a lot of people are like, hey, I'm high functioning. I'm good.
Yeah, that's the worst part. It's like they really believe that they can get behind the wheel when they're fucked. And it's like, man, just save, just spend $30. I know it's late. Uber's expensive, but you'll save you $10,000 and someone's life. More than that, like, you know, that's the most important. Is like you're saving your own life and someone else's. If you get into a car crash, a DUI is like what, $10,000 at least, like, and then if you kill someone, you're going to jail for life at least. You know what I mean? So it's really not worth it. To segue into that kind of fucked up DUI, MMA fighting. MMA fighting. Let's hit on that. What got you interested in MMA, and how have you used that in your policing? If you can answer that question.
My first MMA fight was we're coming up on the anniversary. It was December of 2016. 17. So I was still up with my gym up in Northwest Florida, the one that Wesley and I met at. And I think I wanted to get into it because, again, I'm going to burp again.
No, no worries.
Oh, it is. I didn't even sip the coffee yet.
Oh,
Hang on
wow.
a second.
Is it still warm?
No, but I can drink it faster.
Okay.
So the problem-solving part of it, obviously that plays into it because, unless you're just going out recklessly throwing punches, you're not problem-solving. If you're trying to read your opponent, now you're getting into that a little bit more.
Of course.
And I think it was just a period in my life when, I had met Wesley, I was getting to know him, but I think I was just having my own battles. And not that I was a glutton for punishment, but I think I just liked feeling that apprehension and that anxiety preparing for something. Just wanting to feel a little bit
alive.
More.
Alive. Yeah, alive.
I wanted to feel alive.
Okay.
I did.
Yeah.
And that fight, I TKO'd the girl in it was like sometime in the first round.
Okay.
And when that happens, your very first fight, you get hooked on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do this shit again.
I had done like karate tournaments before that. I think I did maybe like 16 karate tournaments. It's totally different.
Okay.
Because like in a karate tournament, you smack someone upside the head, and then they stop the fight, and then they do the point thing.
Yeah.
And then you start again.
Okay.
So it's slow moving.
It's point fighting, yeah.
Yeah. So with that, it was just a way to be able to compose myself under pressure. And I'll say this. We're getting to know Lisa really well today.
No, that's good. That's the whole point.
So I don't like to diagnose myself, but I definitely used to have like rituals. People say OCD.
OCD?
Yeah. So
everyone has it, I'm sure. To some degree,
something. Yeah. And I still don't like germs. I used to have to like my tick was like knocking on my head.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
No.
But whenever I got into karate, when I got into MMA, it drowns it all out.
Oh.
And you can get laser focused on something, So that was the first of, I hope, many MMA fights to come.
Okay.
Because it definitely reminds you of why you're doing what you do when you win and when you lose.
Yeah, of course.
I've done both. I've won and I've lost. And when you want to keep going, that's whenever you're a martial artist.
Yes.
Because you want to learn.
Preach.
Yes.
That's it.
You can actually learn so much about somebody when you are in an adversarial environment with them. The last girl I fought, we missed weight on opposite sides of the spectrum. She was overweight. I was severely underweight.
Oh, wow.
But we just wanted to get in there and have a good time. And that's how I know that she's going to be doing this for a long time as well. And it was worth it. Even if the odds are stacked against you, you're going to come out much wiser.
Yes. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a extremely positive way to look at that. That's awesome, honestly. That's the Canadian in you, huh? You just find the silver lining in every situation.
So I gave her a big hug at face-offs, and then we did like a little twerk.
Yeah. Oh, I was there. I was actually there. I was actually there at that fight. Yeah. You guys had a good time.
Yeah.
She was way bigger than you. That was fucked up. She should not have fought you, honestly.
Well, it was up to me, and I agreed to it.
No, but I remember, because you said, you're like, well, I'm a police officer, and if we were on the street, I'd have no choice to fight you. And that's the most badass part. You know what I mean? Like, realistically speaking, it's like, wow, most people wouldn't do that. Most people would be like, oh, she's too big. But you're looking at the aspect of, what if we're in a fucking alley somewhere and we got to throw down, like, let's fucking go.
I wish I could say that I would do that for the rest of my fights, but I can't get hurt
not.
because I have a job to do.
Exactly. You have to
Monday.
really fight the guys in the street.
Yeah.
So it's like.
So I can't set myself up like that anymore.
No.
But my opponent kept backing out my original one, and I was just ready to be out of camp at that point.
Exactly.
So my opponent backed out 'cause I'm an atom weight. And the card got shuffled around, and they said, hey, you know, she lost her opponent. What do you think? And it's going to be a title fight. So I was like, yeah, sure.
Fuck it.
It's a great idea.
I'll fight somebody. Whoever wants these hands can get it. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up, Lisa. What was my next question? Because, okay, so the MMA. Yeah, so what got you? Do you think. Oh, my God, I'm losing my train of thought. What got you into MMA? You said you did karate when you were younger, and then you moved to America, started school. So there was a stint where you stopped doing MMA for about like 5-6 years, 4 years, something like
That's
this.
too much math. Even though I do math.
When you were 18, right? When you first moved to America, you stopped for a while. You met West, and then you guys.
It was probably 8 years.
Okay.
Of hiatus.
Okay,
Yeah.
of like inactivity with the martial arts, and then you met your husband, which is awesome. He's like the nicest person, the cool. You guys are like. Usually they say opposite attracts, but you guys are like very similar in the fact that you guys are both, or you're more like wild than he is.
I can be a tad neurotic with like my job and having, you know, like the issues that I used to have before with, you know, the rituals and everything. I like controlling things.
Okay.
And he's just all about like, let's make this day the best day ever.
Yeah.
Then tomorrow we'll make that day the best day ever.
Yes. So it's like it kind of centers everything, right? You're like
Balances
here, and
me.
he's like in the middle, and he kind of pulls you to the balance.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's perfect. He's perfect for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's good to see things like that because it gives. I think right now in the world, the whole male female dynamic is kind of thrown off with the whole. I think it's like my generation and the younger generation coming up, we're kind of like fucking things up in the world. But seeing someone like you and then your husband and your family, even though the roles are slightly reversed, but it still works out, and you guys are still have like that what's it called, nuclear family, the nuclear family.
For
like,
us, it works out for us.
Not every situation would work, but I think it's still like just the way that your relationship is with each other, it balances out in your situation. But other people, maybe it's like the other way around, but it's still like that's the idea of where we should be as people.
Yeah.
Is my point.
And I know not everybody can like live on one income.
Yeah.
So we're blessed with the job I have. It pays me really well. So we can do that. And we'll do without. Like we wanted to buy some jet skis. We can't do that yet.
Yeah.
Because we're buying diapers and stuff.
But it's, hey, I'd rather buy, well, actually, I don't know. I was going to say, I'd rather buy diapers than jet skis. I'm like, I don't know about that one.
There you go.
But no, but it's for a good cause, of course. Like in 18 years, what's going to be the outcome? You're going to have a productive member of society that has, not, I want to say strict, but you guys have both aspects. He was in the military. You're a police officer. Both do martial arts. Like, imagine the amazing human that's going to be formed in, 18 years. And, like, that person's going to go out into the world and contribute to the world that's going to be at the time. So I think
scary, though.
It's scary. It is.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, it is. It's, like, mind-blowing, right?
So that's why I'm like, Wesley, you take the boy. I'll take the girl because she's starting to, like, take on some of my mannerisms anyway. So, and our son is just, like, nonstop energy.
Really?
Like he's gonna
need
to be in sports.
Okay.
He needs to.
Yeah.
That's how Wesley was. Wesley was just like a really bad kid.
Oh no, I think he'll be great with you guys.
We'll
He'll
see.
be great. He'll be great. Kids, we do tend to follow our parents, but at the same time, as long as our parents explain the mistakes they made, to us, and then they show us why you shouldn't make the same one, more or less they would not make it. I mean, depends though.
He's gonna be Wesley 2.0.
Yeah.
We were just saying that today.
Yeah.
So Wesley had like his phases, which like it's a boy thing.
Yeah.
And my daughter Malia, she watches him like a hawk, so she knows what gets him in trouble.
Okay.
So she's gonna be like, oh, I don't
keep him in
do
check. Like, yo, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh man. Lisa, and then do you have any crazy police stories that you can tell? Like funny ones, not like dark ones.
Oh,
whatever you
boy.
want to tell. I don't care. But
there's just whew.
I'm sure there's a mega shit ton. Every day is different, huh?
Funny you say the word shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes those are in the stories.
Oh wow. People like shit themselves. I wanted to. People like if they're getting arrested, they're just like fuck it, just.
Well, sometimes they'll threaten if they don't get let out of the car, then
they'll shit.
They'll wet themselves or something.
And they really do it. Yeah.
But that's why there's no upholstery in the
Oh
back of
my
the car. You just
God.
hose it out.
Oh, Oh, they do that on
There's-
purpose, so you can just
because
it's
they
easy
know
to wash.
people will
Yeah,
purposely
yeah.
wet themselves. Yeah.
Oh my god.
There's a not so glamorous side of it,
Yes.
you know. So why did I want to be a cop?
Yes.
So back in when did the movie SWAT come out? Like 2001.
I think so.
So when I saw that movie, I was like, yes,
Really?
I will be the next Michelle Rodriguez.
Yo.
Because she made the SWAT team, and she's so cool, and she jives with the guys, and this and that. Nobody steps on her, and then it became like, you know what? You can be like running and gunning all day, but you're still gonna deal with the drunk guy who pissed his pants. You know,
Right.
You don't see her doing that.
It's not always like the glory of, like that
No,
cool. It is.
It is public service.
Yes.
So you have to keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And it's public service to people who support you and people who don't. So as long as you can accept that and not take anything personally, then you're good.
That'd be
You
so
won't
hard.
be the next Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah.
But I'll be the first Lisa Golden.
Yeah.
And I did try out for our SWAT team
Mm-hmm.
at our department. I didn't make it.
Okay.
The physical part,
It's hard, huh?
I managed to get through, but at the end, when you're fatigued and you're shaking, you go through a course of fire. You're shooting in low light,
Mm-hmm.
and they have targets set up, and I shot the hostage.
Oh,
So
damn.
I got disqualified.
It's all right. It's all right. You tried.
Yeah.
You tried. I was also one of my questions. Do you find it, obviously not different because you wouldn't have known because you're a woman, but the difficulties of being a female as a police officer? Do you find that it's, I wouldn't say more difficult than a man, but what do you think the key differences are in that? Because I do know that there's a whole stigma that women can't do a whole lot of things physically. And that's not even a stigma. I think it's a fact, like physically.
It's true.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're living proof of that you can, because you still have this job. I'm assuming they wouldn't keep you on if you couldn't do it.
You
So
just gotta even the odds.
yeah, that was my question. Like, what do you find is the common denominator between being a male and a female police officer? Because I'm sure as a female, people think that they can take advantage of you, like as far as like on the opposite end. Because if you're patrolling the streets and someone sees you and you're smaller than them and you're a female police officer, they'll probably be like, "Oh, what's up, girl?" Like, they talk to you a certain way. They don't give you the same respect as they would a big 6'4" giant linebacker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a cop. So how do you feel what do you feel makes the difference in those situations?
So sometimes they'll send a male and a female together.
Okay.
Or if they're sending a female because it's the zone she covers that day, they're sending her to a call, and the person we're dealing with has history with us. Sometimes they'll call out over the radio the person's name, like, "Hey, I'm out with so-and-so." Everybody knows who it is.
Okay.
So then people automatically will just come and be backup.
Okay.
Guys
Okay.
and stuff. If they have a history of battery on a law enforcement officer and resisting with violence,
my
stuff
God.
like that, they'll be like, "You know what? We won't let Sally go by herself. we'll send Biff along with her." So the nice thing about being a woman in the industry is that sometimes just being a woman alone is disarming, and it can bring people from here down to here. So women
Psychologically,
women have the gift of gab.
Yeah.
We do look less intimidating. I mean, there are some brolic
Yeah.
females out there. I'm not one of them, obviously.
No,
I'm
of
pretty
course.
girly looking.
Yes.
But yeah, we have the gift of gab, and we will try to connect to them a little bit more interpersonally. Whereas guys, they, I call it waffle brain. They can compartmentalize everything. We have spaghetti brain.
Yeah.
Everything's connected.
Okay.
Emotion, everything. And when a guy comes, sometimes he can wrap up the investigation a little more quickly. Won't feel the need to like establish as much rapport. Everybody is different, though. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, personalities are different across the board
Yeah.
with guys and girls. There are some guys. There's one in particular. I won't say his name. we had a really, really bad day, and it was a suicide by cop.
Ooh.
We had a standoff with this guy, and one of my colleagues was able to have a very long conversation with the guy, and he just, all the right words were just coming to him. something that I couldn't do, and I'm a girl. So thank God he was there that day.
Okay.
Because he just, you would think that he was a highly trained negotiator.
Oh, wow.
Or something.
Yeah.
He was just phenomenal. So it also goes back to your training. Like how much do you care about your job to get the training that you believe that you need? So some people are just there for the paycheck.
Okay.
Some people are there because we have a very large, very expensive, very beautiful gym, and you can work out on your lunch break. So some people,
You think that's why?
they're just like, when's lunch? When's lunch? You know,
Trying to get that
So,
workout in.
yeah.
Wow. That's a good reason to be a cop.
you gotta find. Well,
That's your reason, right?
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice.
It's a
part.
nice. Is that nice that people
very
would
nice.
stay?
I don't know if that would be like.
Like
I
that's-
don't know how long they could make that the only reason why they come to work.
That'd be a crazy reason
Yeah,
to risk your life every day. Like, yo, the gym is nice though. The gym's nice.
they got 5 treadmills.
Ooh. Wow. But no, I do know that women are typically better. Well, they are better at reading situations quicker than men can. You walk into a room, that's how you know if a guy's like super creepy. You walk into a room, you can just smell them, like just looking at them, like, all right, that motherfucker's weird. Something's off about him, just instantly. You know, women have that ability that I think quicker than men. So that's one big reason why I think women obviously should be in the police force. And but for me, I think the biggest worry is those situations like you were speaking about when you're alone with a guy that could outpower you, but then there's that dynamic. You got the strap.
Listen.
You know what I mean? So that's the common denominator right there. But it is a scary job, which is why it's such a respectable thing. And I have so much respect for you and your family, which is honestly, it's your everyday. People don't realize, and even my own friends and some of my family share the sentiment that they should defund the police. And I think that they're absolutely out of their fucking mind. It's the dumbest thing you could ever do. You wake up every morning and your thought is, how could I help society today? And you know what I mean? You risk your life every day, and you have a family, you have a beautiful family at home, but you're putting yourself forward just so we can keep us safe. And that, to me, is one of the most respectable jobs you can do outside of the military,
Thanks,
which are
Miles.
absolutely, your husband's in the military, so thank you for his service as well. And it's just how we run our society and how we run our world kind of revolves around you. In smaller cities, of course, like each city individually has their own police force that keeps them safe, and I think we ought to bring light to that and say thank you to you and people that do your job, because it's not easy. It's really hard. If you do something wrong, everyone's going to call you out on it. If you do something right, no one cares. That's what you're supposed to do. And I mean, in a way, that's just kind of what you signed up for, but at the same time, you should have some sort of praise for that, because I guarantee you 99% of people will never do, or even have the balls to do it. You know what I mean? So I, from the bottom of my heart, want to say thank you, Lisa. I think you're an amazing
Miles.
person. No, honestly, and I think that a lot of people could take some inspiration from you being a mother. Like I said, that is the most important job in society for me, being a mother, raising a family that's going to contribute to society. You're also an MMA fighter, which is badass. You know what I mean? You're literally fighting someone in a cage, practically naked, which is awesome. And then you're a police officer. You know what I mean? These are 3 very difficult things that most people can't even do one right. And you're doing all
the naked
3.
thing, that gives me anxiety. 'Cause
Really?
after having 2 kids, I'm like, oh no.
No, you still
My
look great.
abs.
No, you look great, Lisa.
Well, you might see me in a t-shirt next time. We'll see. I don't
Let's
know.
go. No,
I'm
you're
working
training.
on it.
You're always training. You're always ready. And just literally your job, you have to wear that heavy thing. You're walking around like it's a lot. You're police officer. Well, no, I've seen some fat cops. I'm not gonna lie,
There
but
are fat cops.
there are some really fat cops. But even though they're still really strong, like you're putting on almost a fraction of your weight everywhere you go, and you're just like sitting in like the car, and you have to chase people. It's a lot. You have to be strong. You have to be quick, fast, agile, explosive, and then you also have the MMA factor of it. So after you've done all that in a day, then you come into the gym and strangle people, and try not to get strangled. You know.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, where, it's like there are out of shape cops out there, but they crack on, they keep going. But you need to have an outlet somehow. And no one's forcing you to do that job. You chose it. So be good at it. Don't just be good at it. Be the best at it.
Yeah.
And going to the gym after a bad day at work is cathartic for me. And it's like, it's a reset. And then I can go home. I can be Lisa. I can go back to work and be like, I learned something new at the gym today. I feel empowered. I'm ready to throw that uniform back on and just be a good cop.
Yes. No, that's awesome. And that's what we need. That's what we really need in this world, is just good police officers that keep us safe. And obviously, there are bad ones out there, like we were saying earlier, but you can't look at those cops and put that general thought process on everybody, because it's just, that's like the same thing as doing it with race. The black person, the Mexican person, the Asian person, just seeing one thing that one person did wrong of that color and then putting that on everybody. It's
they
just
generalize 99% based
yeah,
on 1%.
it's dumb. It's dumb. And obviously, we can just look at statistics. Every day there's police officers going around. Every day there's not something crazy. I mean, I'm gonna get flack for this, but there is something crazy that happens every day. But if you think about the concept of 365 days a year, how many times are police out here intentionally doing something that's gonna hurt somebody? No, there's just, you're not gonna find any number that's gonna say, yes, most days cops are out here fucking doing this. It's not true.
And that's why I'm all for videotaping.
Yeah.
Videotape me all you want. Keep me honest.
Yeah, that's really what it is. But I don't think people should get involved, because I see, like...
Oh, but they don't. They're just there to document.
Yeah, but they do. But if you're getting too close, like, you're affecting the situation. Like, I see videos all the time. They're like, oh, why are you arresting him? What do you do? What do you do? I'm like, back the fuck up. Like, you're getting too close. Nah, you're going to get involved. Now, see, but people don't realize that. That's what they're watching, is like, the person's recording. That's fine. You can record all you want. But the second you go and try and get involved in the situation, you have nothing to do with this. You're arresting somebody. Now this lady's recording you and she's like shoving you. Now you have to, like, hey, back up. And then she's like, oh, are you going to shoot me now? And she's getting all aggressive. Now I got to arrest your ass. Now I got to take time. And then now someone else is recording me, and they started recording after that happened. And then now all they see is you restraining this woman on the floor. And it's like, oh, let's see, white cop hurts black woman. It's like, all right.
That's the headline.
That's the headline. And then now we have this whole wave of stupid people thinking that, I can go on for days.
I will never discourage people from filming, though. You know,
no, I don't think you should.
It's obviously their right.
Yeah.
And sometimes their video will help my perspective to show that I didn't do what I was maybe being accused of, because this person's video shows the whole thing.
Right.
And on top of that, whenever you know you're being watched, you keep yourself buttoned up pretty tight.
Oh yeah, I would imagine.
And you have to, because you're being given an enormous amount of power, and you're impacting people's lives.
Yeah.
And sometimes what you are doing is going to impact their life forever.
Yeah.
So make sure that what you're doing is right.
Right. They're doing the right thing. Just do the right thing, right?
Just do the right thing.
Which is hard, though. In a split second, if like there's so much chaos going on, doing the right thing can be hard. Which is, like, refer back to the training. You have to be trained, and then it goes back to martial arts, being a blue belt, having an understanding of body mechanics in certain situations where, all right, I don't have to deploy a weapon here. I could just refrain this person, like, or not freaking out if they're doing something to me. I can just, hip escape.
Knowing what I'm doing to them, to know, like, what I'm doing is not a choke.
Right.
Versus somebody who doesn't train whatsoever. They get into a dog pile, and then they're like, no, I was doing this. No, that's a choke. Okay?
Yeah.
And it's restricting their air. You're restricting their blood. It's a choke.
Yeah.
So know what is what. Know what is not okay. Know what's legal. So that way, when you get put on the stand, you can say, this is not a choke because what I'm doing is this, and here is why. So paying attention in jiu-jitsu class is vital to know the name of something and what it does and how it submits your opponent.
Wow, that's true. That's true.
Do you think
you're going to teach jiu-jitsu to your department or something like this? Like get some sort of... Have you been trying to...
on and off the soapbox.
Yeah.
But we have some high-level jiu-jitsu practitioners at my department.
Okay.
And they run our defensive tactics program. And a lot of them are high-ranking as well.
Okay.
Which I respect so much.
That's
see
awesome.
People who are in leadership positions, going out on their own time, on their own dime. And they're getting better and better physically, mentally. They're prepping themselves, even though people who are in upper management positions aren't really out on the beat.
Yeah.
They're doing admin stuff, but they're still going out there and they're setting an example for the rest of us. So we've got some lethal people at my department.
That's awesome.
They
That's
compete,
awesome.
yeah, and that's inspiring. So we have the tools. It's just getting the interest, because a lot of people, and I'm not talking about people at my department per se, but we have really cool looking uniforms.
Okay.
So a lot of chicks who come there, it's like, this is going to look so good for the gram. Let me,
Yeah.
and then they got their in-car selfies, with their full kit. And
Oh,
they look tactical
shit, yeah.
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Hair flowing. And they don't want to better themselves physically
Okay.
with the jiu-jitsu. It's like, I'm afraid I'm going to get hurt, or I don't want to get sweaty, or stuff like that.
Okay.
And
okay.
that I could preach miles about that all day, but I have run myself ragged.
Yeah.
There are pros at my department who
That's
can
there. They
deal
can
with that.
they can handle that situation
Yeah.
for you. Yeah.
I'm there if they need me. I'll volunteer my time, but right now I'm just doing me.
you can't you can force a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink, right?
Yeah,
That sort of thing.
Some people in the department just don't want to drink.
They just don't want to.
because-
They just don't want it. Yeah.
No.
Like, fuck it. No, I can understand. It's not for everybody. But I think if you're for sure going to be a police officer, it should be a requirement to be a blue belt at one point.
I think it should be mandatory.
At least if you're going to do it, you have to at least do jiu-jitsu up until you're a blue belt because
it's tried and true. It's not just I don't.
Yeah.
Why jiu-jitsu? Why can't it be kung fu?
Like, because that's stupid.
Okay, let's put kung fu versus jiu-jitsu.
Exactly. We see what happens. See what happens. Yeah. Exactly. Most of the time, 9.9 times out of 10, I guarantee you jiu-jitsu is gonna win for sure.
Well, not only that, kung fu, you could really hurt somebody. Jiu-jitsu,
just eye pokes and shit. Yeah.
Right. You can escort someone safely to the ground with jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I don't think you can do that with kung fu. So
Not with them conscious, no.
right,
You can spinning heel kick them, and then they'll be. You can catch them before they hit the ground, but
I'm
yeah.
not gonna dragon fist you to the ground, and then
dragon.
you're gonna be okay.
Yeah. Oh my God, yes.
There's a reason why people are pushing jiu-jitsu in law enforcement.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
It's gentle. It's circular, and
the gentle art.
yeah.
Yeah. It could be dangerous though, but no, not in the sense of in the police way, but heel hooks and knee bars.
Absolutely.
And you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, like all that stuff. But it's cool because even still, imagine a situation where he's like, all right, I could just decapitate this guy, but decapitate his kneecap, fuck up his knee, so now he
Blast
can't.
his kneecap.
You know what I mean? Heel hook him, knee bar him instead of shooting him. Maybe he's not dead, but look he can't walk. He might need surgery, but at least he's not dead. And
His skin is intact.
yeah, he's all right. He'll live. He tried to fucking hurt me, so I'd rather do that than fucking.
You know who hurts me more than anybody? White belts.
Yeah.
Because they don't
Spaz the
know
fuck
what they're
out.
doing.
Yeah.
Same thing on the street.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what you're doing, you know how to accomplish something without hurting somebody excessively.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is always the white
Terrified
belts.
of white belts.
It's always
Terrified.
they really fucking go in there and they spaz out because they see something on YouTube or they think that they have to be a certain way. I saw Gordon Ryan do this, and
No, you
all right,
didn't.
no, you didn't. He didn't do it that
He was
way.
doing it right.
And he wasn't spazzing out, and he wasn't cranking as hard as he could. But I rest my case. I digress.
Yeah, they suffocate you. They smash your nose.
Yeah.
And you can hear them hyperventilating.
It's like,
This-
bro, chill.
This is 50% to them.
Yeah, and they're going as hard as they can, but. Yeah.
Bless their hearts.
Bless them. God bless them. Well, Lisa, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming here, taking the time
This
out
was
of your day.
fun.
This was fun.
We should do it again.
Yes, absolutely. We will do this again really soon, actually. And this time, hopefully, JJ will be here. He could be here and
He can be your hype guy.
Yeah, my hype guy. He
I'll
knows.
think of more stories next time.
Yeah, no worries. I always just wanted to ask. Maybe there's some funny shit that you can think of real quick,
It's
but
too many to remember.
there's a lot. I
Yeah.
have funny military stories. Whenever someone asks me, I'm just like. I have to think, and then on the spot it's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard. But maybe next time, for sure.
Well, we gotta have a next time.
Oh, 100% we will. And do you have any fights or anything coming up? Do you have anything you're training for?
I am cutting right now for maybe February 3rd or January 27th.
Oh, XFN?
Yeah.
The 27th card?
It's honestly whoever can find me an opponent because there's so few and far between with my weight class.
Yeah, it's a hard weight class to get.
Yeah.
115 or 105?
105.
Wow, yeah.
I might end up having to do a catch weight. I don't know. I'd rather not because I can cut the weight easily.
Could you make 115? Is that where you weigh naturally?
That's what I walk around at.
Oh,
yeah.
So they're going to be bigger than you no matter
the
what.
Tiny one.
Yeah.
I'm tired of being the tiny
Yeah,
one.
no, it's true. 105 is a hard weight class, especially. Do you see yourself going pro?
I want to wrap up my amateur career in 2024.
Okay.
And then maybe have another baby in
Yeah.
2025.
Okay.
Turn pro. So 2024, finish up amateur and then be pro after that.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm not getting any younger.
No,
so
it's all right.
I gotta pick up the pace a little bit.
No, I mean, not everyone wants to go pro. Some people just they just have fun. Like you said, they just want to be the martial artist. And then they just cap off their amateur career. Like, okay, this is where I end. And then they just end up transitioning into coaching, or they just continue training, but they have no desire to go pro. I just didn't know if that was your goal or not. Because you're really good. So it's like, I don't know if that was what you kind of were tearing into.
Depending on how well I do in 2024, I'm going to want to challenge myself with more advanced opponents, and then why not get paid for it?
Yeah, that's like the biggest part, is like get that money, you know what I'm saying? So
it's the best hobby in the world.
It is. It's awesome. Well, I have your Instagram up, golden_GRRL, Miss Lisa Golden. And thank you so much for coming, Lisa. I really appreciate your time. And
always a
yes,
pleasure.
of course. And we will see you next time. Thank you guys for watching. Go follow the Instagram page and the YouTube at The Defying Podcast. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And I will see you next time. Peace.
Thank you to our new sponsors, Flow State Coffee. Flow State Coffee is a performance coffee with ingredients that give you a deeper focus, better mood, and it lowers caffeine-related anxiety so you don't get any jitters or shake. It's coffee made to get shit done.
Be sure to use discount code DEFY, DEFY at checkout for 10% off all sales.